today we're going to be talking about the specific types of thoughts that cause us to have feelings that, frankly, just we shouldn't have. So remember, beneath our feelings are our thoughts. And a lot of times our thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to actions. So it really becomes important to figure out what are the thoughts. Let me give you an example. If I use the thought always or never, like she always is doing that or she never is doing that, is that really, really true? Is she always doing that or is she always or never doing that? The truth is, it's usually somewhere in between. But when we allow the thought of she always hurts me, she always does that, I know, that right there is a thinking error. It's a black and white thinking error is what they call it. And so if we can get a little bit more truthful with ourselves and say, you know what, sometimes she does that or she does it quite often and it kind of bugs me. That's a different thought than she always or she never. Here's another thinking error. And this is one that I see a lot. It's called fortune telling, where you go, I know if I do this thing, something bad's going to happen. It's happened in the past, so I know it's going to happen. So what people think is they say, because something happened in the past, it has to happen again and again. It's called fortune telling. It's an error that supposes that we know the future. We can fortune tell, and we just don't. The past doesn't have to become the future. And so if we can catch ourselves in these thinking errors and say, you know what, I'm thinking black and white. I don't need to think that way. I'm thinking in a fortune-telling way. I don't need to think that way. Here's another one, discounting the positive. A lot of times people will say all the negative things. Oh my goodness, all these negative things. I'm having problems with my finances. I'm having problems in my relationship. I'm having problems. But then they don't pay any attention to the good things. They can say, you know what, here's the interesting thing. Maybe you have good health. Man, I have good health and I have a place to stay. I have clean drinking water. When you discount all the positive things in your life, you're not seeing it well. You're focusing only on the negative. So one of the thinking errors we could call is discounting the positive. Now, what I want you to do right now is I want you to go through, and every time you have a negative feeling, if you really, really want to stop having that feeling, you've got to attack it. You've got to attack it with precision. Best way you can do this is, first of all, number one, get out of the river. Get out of the river and watch the thoughts go by and start looking at those thoughts. When we're in the river of our thoughts, they're just pummeling us like we're water in a river and it's just hitting us. But when we get out of the river, we can actually say, oh, I see that thought. That's what I'm thinking. And then we can examine the thought and we can say, wait, does this thought have any cognitive distortions? Anything that's wrong with it? Anything that's just not right? Am I doing black and white thinking? Am I fortune telling? Am I discounting the positive and only seeing the negative? Am I assuming that the past has to be the present, that what happened in the past has to happen now? And those thoughts, when we allow them to happen, we've got to attack them, and not to attack them because they may be, part of them may be true, all of them may be true, but a lot of times there's a lie somewhere in those thoughts. So your job is to start figuring out what the lie is and then just correcting it with truth. You could say, you know, there are some challenges right now. I am having challenges with my finances. I am having challenges with my relationships. I'm having some challenges. But there's also some really good things. Maybe I have good health. Maybe I have a good place to stay. Maybe I have some clean food and good drinking water. Like a lot of the world doesn't have that. You can start focusing on that. And you can rewrite the thoughts and say, instead of calling them like, oh my goodness, I'm predestined to have a horrible life because these things are happening, say, yeah, I have some challenges and I'm going to change my approach. I know they're category 2 challenges. Most relationship problems are. And I'm going to slowly over time align with the law of the harvest and start planting seeds that I really want to see grow in my relationship starting today. And I know it might take a while. I'm going to have to be patient. But I'm going to start today because I can. There's something I can do today that will inch the process forward. Even if it's just an inch or a half inch or a fourth of an inch. I'm going to start planting those seeds today. And we start seeing the truth that we really can change things. So when we're having bad feelings, realize a lot of times there's a lie involved. And I'm going to have you look at the worksheet. I'm going to print out on the worksheet some of these lies that come in our thoughts. And then I want you to show how we could figure out those lies. I want you to do the worksheet. This is a super important one. Look at the worksheet, go through it, and start working on being conscious. Start being mindful of what you're thinking, knowing that it causes the thinking causes your feelings kind of lead to action. So it's important to have that thinking. And then one of the best things you can do is teach this principle to your children. Now, here's the thing. Anything you're learning in this course, you could probably teach to your children. Come and say, you know what? I learned something new today. My thoughts cause my feelings. Teach it to your children. And in fact, that very act of teaching your children helps you remember it more. And gosh, your children have really, really good minds that pick up on things. And so when you teach them that, they'll think, wow, I can control my feelings by controlling my thoughts. These feelings just don't happen to me. Now, if we want to believe the rhetoric that feelings just come from somewhere out there, that's not true. We can literally lead our feelings with our thoughts, with our actions. And by doing that, we're not victims. We're creators of our own destiny. And our kids need to know that when they're young. They need to know that the world out there, stuff out there, doesn't do it to me. I actually have a lot more to say about it than that. So teach your kids the things you learn in this course. Teach them about how you have control over some things, but not other things. Teach them about attitude. Teach them about changing your approach. Teach them about how to change your thoughts. And do the work, do the worksheet. Good luck. You can do this.